Hello, my name's Darren Chan. I'm here with Evolution 1079 Altering Radio. Today I'm bringing you the Evo Lounge, and our story today is going to be about a voice actor who primarily uses Voices.com to get the majority of his work. We're going to be understanding a little bit of Earl Thomas's background in the world of voiceover. Before we dive into voiceover, or that you've done a bit of, what's your experience in terms of, or background?
Well, when I came back from radio in Penticton, I worked intelligence and customer service, and I had taken a course by Kathy Wesseluk, a day course in voiceover and animation, and she also offered, personal consultations. So I took those personal consultations, and then I got my demo done in May of 2004. So on my days off, I worked 3 or 4 days a week. I would shop it around old school style. I would take my demo, my resume, and cover letter, and go right to the places that were accepting demos. But nowadays it's a lot easier. I just go on my Mac and I send it out.
And you said you actually did radio up in Penticton?
Yes, that was my first gig after graduating from the radio program here at BCIT. I started as the overnight announcer on Giant FM as Earl Thomas.
And since that leads into a lot of voiceover stuff, would you say that your radio training has helped you with voiceover? Or?
No, because Kathy said, radio guys are the hardest ones to train in voiceover because they want to sound like a radio guy. No, just talk conversationally. And so, it was quite an adjustment. And mind you, in voiceover, there's a lot of variety that they ask for. I do a lot of auditions on Voices.com, and they're all over the map. As far as what they want. Like if they want a calm voice, or they want sometimes they want a radio sounding voice. So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of variety. It's never boring.
But you say you do. Does most of your work actually come from Voices.com, or do you also do stuff here in Vancouver?
It is a variety. I got one in Australia from Voices.com and one in Florida from Voices.com. But I'm auditioning during the week. Today I did 8 auditions. The day before I did 8 auditions.
And you said when you shopped around here for those voiceovers, at least prior in 2004, was that mainly like going to studio asking if they had anything to do?
I would find out ahead of time whether they were accepting demos, and then I would go to them and I would get everything ready in a package for them.
And was it just like your demo, or did you bring like specific stuff they wanted as well?
No, I brought my demo that was produced at Coco Studios in Vancouver.
And back then, was it like bringing a CD or?
No, it was a cassette.
The cassette?
Yeah, it's changed a lot.
And so with doing all this voices, you don't have an agent here in Vancouver, or do you?
I had an agent for a short time, and that agent was a lot about TV work, going for auditions. But I landed my biggest one for the TV ad, the lawyer ad for William Shatner, Robert Vaughn, and Harry Hamlin, that type of style of a radio ad. So that was a nice paycheck. That was our biggest one.
But that was on camera?
That was on camera, yes.
But right now, so you only do voice work?
Yes, I'm doing the voice work, yes.
And outside of voice work, do you do anything else at the moment?
Yes, I do. I took a course in comedy, Stand Up for Mental Health. Currently, I have done 5 stand-up comedies. I'm going to do a 6th one on December the 9th because it's the grad show for that current course, and I'm alumni. And I also do speaking engagements for depression recovery. I have a speech that I've done 11 times. I'm going to do my 12th one in January in Coquitlam. Hope through depression with focused action.
What was that all entitled?
Well, the title of it, it was a depression recovery speech. Hope through depression with focused action. And I do that through the Mood Disorders Association of BC. They send me the opportunities, and I see if I'm a fit for them, and then I apply to them.
All right. And going around this train back into voiceover, do you find that you get particular roles a lot compared to others because of your voice?
Yeah, and I didn't plan it this way, but I've done 39 promotional videos. So that's my specialty. And you can see those on LinkedIn. And with those on LinkedIn, I've got 33 recommendations from satisfied clients.
And all right. Outside of promotions, have you done like any animation characters or any?
Yeah, I went down to the Emily Carr College. I did Dan, Ann, and the Magic Band. It was a short one. They entered it into the Seattle animation, and they won, but they won a couple of categories, but there was no money involved. So it's a little bit in animation, but not too much.
And which is interesting because Kathy Westluck, who's here in Vancouver, is known for being in a lot of animation roles.
Yeah,
Also,
she's an anime. Yeah, she's very good.
And have you ever had any aspirations or anything to be like, I want to join cartoons or animation, or do you find like promos is your main thing, and because that's what you get?
It's whatever comes my way. If you look on my LinkedIn, there's quite a variety. You know, I'm glad to do animation, but you know, you have to win the roles. The thing in voiceover is, if you want to go into it, you got to be willing to take rejection. You know, you audition a lot before you get something, and but I love the competitive part. I love it when I get it. You know, it's an adrenaline rush when you've been chosen.
And would you find there's a particular thing all right, let me rephrase it. Back in 2004, when you're handing out those demos, there's a lot of just like you send the demos, you might not hear from them, and you just got to keep moving from door to door.
Yeah, well, you do the follow up, but you know that changed an awful lot. You know, when I took the self-employment program at Douglas College, because you know there was a whole plan, and that's when I actually became an official business, because you had to get your business license, and I got that in April the 1st, 2011. So you know, I've had a lot of contacts I've made, a lot of follow-ups to do. I'm never bored. There's always a going concern.
All right, and for all of us at Evolution out there, since we do a lot of sound editing, and how do you often have to like find that you have to do a lot of sound editing yourself at home when you're sending stuff? If you say get something from like voices.com?
Yes, you know, I'll edit it, and I'll be very particular. Going to listen to that again. You listen so hard. You know, sometimes you think you hear something, and then you play it back. There's nothing there. It sounds perfect. So I use the GarageBand on my Mac, and it's gotten me a fair bit of money.
And before we leave off today, regarding voices.com, what you're using as your way into like voiceover and all that, would you say that makes it more easier for voice actors nowadays, or probably harder because now there's more people in the market now?
Well, in one way, it doesn't make it harder, because when you consistently audition, you get better, and sometimes you say, wow, that was my best take for the day. So I know there's a lot of competition. When I was chosen for the Tip O Tap video in Australia, I was chosen. There was 66 others. The one in Florida, there was 22 others. So, you know, when I see one that's at 100, I tend not to. But sometimes you see them, they just come in and they got 0 on them. So I try to go for them. But when I was not auditioning for a while, I stopped it from June to October, and then when I got back into it, I slowly increased my amount of auditions per day. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you for your time. I'm Earl. It's been interesting to hear the other voiceover side, which is mainly like the online voices.com.
Yeah, and I usually close off you know, my answering machine, or if I'm in a networking event, Earl Thomas, a voice, creating vocal paradise for your exact needs.
As you just heard, Earl Thomas has quite a bit to say on voiceover and how he got over into that position. I'm Darren Chan at Evolution 1079 Ultra Ring Radio, and that was this episode of the Evo Lounge.